Good morning, dear children. Let us continue with the chapter Weather and Climate. This is part 3 of the chapter. Before it, we have studied what is the difference between weather and climate, and also we have discussed the two factors which affect the climate. The first one is distance from the equator, the another one is height above the sea level. So now today we will continue with the rest of the factors that affect the climate. So let's begin. So the next factor which affect the climate is distance from the sea. Now places which are near the coast, they have a moderate climate. It is neither too hot nor too cold here. So the places which are near the coast, near the sea coast, they have moderate climate. Moderate climate means that the temperature, that the climate, it is neither too much hot nor too much cold. You can say the places which are near the coastal areas, they having pleasant weather. This is because of the effect of sea breeze. Now understand what sea breeze is. Now when the wind above the sea flow towards the land, they are known as sea breeze, and when the wind which is above the land moves towards the sea, they are known as land breeze. So let us see how this sea breeze and the distance from the sea affect the climate of a place. The coastal areas have a moderate climate that I have already told you. Moderate means that the climate is neither too hot nor too cold. The reason behind this is the sea breeze, which makes the land cool. So what happens in summer when the sea is cooler, there is a tendency of water bodies that water bodies heat up and cool down at a slower rate than the land. That means when we compare water bodies and land, so land gets heated very quickly, whereas water bodies take time to get heated. So what happens? Water bodies take time to get heated. So in summer, when the sea is cooler and the land is hotter, so when summer is there, due to the sun rays, this land becomes hot very quickly, whereas the water bodies, the sea, take times. Therefore, when the air above the sea it moves towards the land and makes the land cool, and this is known as sea breeze. That is why what happens whenever sea breeze blows, it makes the place cool. Now let us talk to the about the places which are far from the sea. So the places that are far from the sea, they do not get sea breeze. Therefore, they are extremely hot in summer and also they are very cold in winter. Now the next factor is the direction of the winds. Now, for the direction of the winds, we need to remember that the winds that blow from hot regions increase the temperature of a place. That means if a wind is coming from a hot region, so it is obviously hot, so it will make the place hot. Whereas the winds which blow from the cold regions, they decrease the temperature of a place. If they are coming from a cool place, they will make the place cool. Winds, they also bring clouds with them and they are responsible for the rain. Now let us understand the role of direction of winds with an example. See, Delhi is very hot in summer. Why? Because the dry hot winds which are coming from the Rajasthan, they make Delhi hot. But in winters, again this Delhi is very cold because at that time Delhi receives cold winds from the northern mountains, from the Himalayas. That is why we say that winds which blowing from the sea make the lands close to the sea cool and moist. Sometimes winds are also responsible for rainfall because they bring clouds with them. The next factor is humidity and rainfall. Now, what is humidity? Humidity is the presence of moisture or water vapor in the air. So you can say moisture or the water vapor which are present in the air, they are known as humidity. Humidity is a very big factor because humidity brings rainfall. As much humid the air or the place is, as much rainfall the place will get. So we can say that clearly that humidity is responsible for rain. Now, the equatorial places, that means the places which are near the equator, they are very hot and humid. Why they are hot and humid? Because direct rays of sun fall over that. So that place is very hot and humid. And because they are hot and humid, humidity is there in the climate, in the weather. So that is why they receive a lot of rainfall. But the deserts, they do not have the air in the desert, do not have moisture. The air there is dry. In deserts, the air is dry. It does not contain any moisture. That is why deserts does not receive any rainfall. Or you can say they receive very little rainfall. Now, very cold places like the northern mountains or the Himalayas, they experience snowfall. So, if there is humidity, or you can say if humidity cause rainfall in the plains, in the this air, this wind cause snowfall in the cold places or in the northern mountains. Now, we will read about the heat zones of the earth. Now, the Earth is divided into three heat zones. These heat zones are Torrent Zone, Temperate Zone, and Frigid Zone. So, in the diagram, you can clearly see that this pink part, this is known as Torrent Zone. In the later slides, we will study them in detail, in a bit detail. Right now, just have a quick glimpse of it. The pink area is the Torrent Zone. Now, the temperate zone is in yellow color. There are two temperate zone. One is in the northern hemisphere, which is known as north temperate zone, and one is in southern hemisphere, that is known as south temperate zone. And also there is the third zone that is named as frigid zone, which is near the poles. So near the poles, you can see at the top it is the north frigid zone, and in this towards the south is the south frigid zone. Now let us talk about the location of these places. This torrid zone lies between the Tropic of the Cancer and the Tropic of the Capricorn. These are the important parallels which we have already read in the previous chapter. So torrid zone lies between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Temperate zone lies between the torrid zone and the frigid zone. So one part is in the north, one part is in the south. Or also you can see that temperate zone lies between the Arctic Circle and Tropic of Cancer in the northern hemisphere, and Antarctic Circle and Tropic of Capricorn in the southern hemisphere. Now let us talk about the frigid zone. The north frigid zone lies towards the north between the North Pole and the Arctic Circle. The South Frigid Zone lies between the South Pole and the Antarctic Circle. Now let us read about them one by one. So here we will talk about Torrid Zone. Torrid Zone lies between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, and in between both of them there is equator, so it lies up and down towards the around the equator. Now, in the torrid zone, direct rays of the sun fall over it. So the climate is hot and humid throughout the year. Why it is hot and humid? Because direct rays of the sun are falling over them. Now the next is the temperate zone. This temperate zone, it lies between the torrent zone and the frigid zone in both the hemisphere. It is known as temperate zone. It is neither very hot nor very cold in these zones, because these zones, both the zones, that is north temperate zone and the south temperate zone, both the zones are neither very hot nor very cold, because these zones are far away from the equator as well as from the poles. So there they used to have moderate climate. Moderate, I told, not very, neither very hot nor very cold. So these zones are having a pleasant weather or a climate, you can say. The next zone is frigid zone. The North Frigid Zone lies between the North Pole and the Arctic Circle, that is in the northern hemisphere at the topmost part. The South Frigid Zone lies between the South Pole and the Antarctic Circle, that is in the southern hemisphere. If you will see in that diagram, that is, it is at the bottom part. The sun rays are slanting here, that is why it remains very cold throughout the year. So because direct rays of sun are not there, it is slanting and it is near the poles, that is why it remains very cold throughout the year. I hope that you people have understood this video. With these topics, we have completed the chapter today. Hope you understood it. Thank you very much. Have a great day.